The PGA Championship Update is presented by Copper Rock, where the pros play, on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Time to talk some PGA Championship. Our next guest, of course, co-host of Real Golf Radio, which is brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain Land Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Uinta Golf. He is our buddy Bob Casper. What's going on, Bob?
Hey, boys. How you doing?
Good, Bob. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just watching a lot of golf and watching lots of train wrecks and watching not a lot of guys moving up the leaderboard. So,
well, tell us about this Potgieter fella.
So he's from South Africa. He's won on the European Tour and the PGA Tour. He's a good player, but he's yet to really kind of jump out and do anything in a major championship. So it's kind of interesting that he's playing and going to have an opportunity to be in one of the final groups on the weekend. But he's a really good player.
What kind of would this be a major upset if he continues to stay atop the leaderboard, or does this course particularly fit what he does well? I will admit I'm not really familiar with his game.
So Potgieter, the interesting thing about the PGA Championship is every once in a while you get guys like this that haven't really contended in a major that can win a first-time major. Guys that are really, really good players that have won before on the PGA Tour, but just have not really kind of jumped out and done anything in the golf world to really kind of take a hold. And he's one of them. He's a really good player from South Africa. There's lots of great players from South Africa, but he's yet to win a major. So you don't want to bet against him, but he's got a lot of guys with a lot of experience behind him that are on his coattails.
So, Bob, when we talked to you earlier in the week and you heard a lot of players talk about the course, they thought they'd be putting up big-time scores, and that hasn't been the case. Yeah. Why is this course playing so much more difficult than we anticipated?
Well, they've dried it out. The golf course is dry because of wind, and it's going to get even drier and crispier on the weekend because the temperatures are supposed to go into the 80s. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is these greens are really, really big. And because they're big and they have a lot of roll and undulation in them, they can kind of hide the flags and make it more difficult for these guys. So having said that, the greens are the defense of the golf course. And what they've done is put these flags in precarious spots that are really giving these guys fits.
So do you think anybody, and there are still some very big names close to the top of this leaderboard within a couple of strokes, do you think somebody's going to be able to put together a big weekend and put together a big score if they are 3 or 4 strokes back going into tomorrow?
Well, I think they can. And the reason I say that is because you look at Chris not Potgieter. That's who's leading it right now.
Gotterup?
Chris Gotterup. Yes. So Chris Gotterup started the day at 2 over par. He shot a 65 today, and he's currently at 3 under par for the tournament. And if you get out a little bit earlier and you post a score, you can make a really big move. And he's just right there at the top of the leaderboard. 5 under's leading. There's one that's 4. That's Smalley is at 4, and then Gotterup is at 3 under par. So I think with the weather and everything, some guys are going to make some moves. Saturday's moving day, and there'll be some guys that make some move, including I think Scotty Scheffler will be the guy that makes a nice move because he always gets himself like kind of right in the mix of it, and he's currently 2 under par and only 3 shots back. And then watch out, on Saturday he plays really, really well, and on Sunday he plays well, and before you know it, he's won a golf tournament or won a major championship. So watch out for some of those guys that have major championship wins under their belt and have done extremely well in majors.
So Ben and I were talking about this off the air. The big story yesterday was Bozo Garrick Higo missed his missed his tee time or was late to his tee time.
He was late. Yeah.
He was late. He got punished 2 strokes. So he goes out. He had a good day yesterday, though, Bob. He was 1 under par with those 2 strokes. Then
shot 1 under.
Today he's +6 through 12, so he's 5 over for the tournament. The projected cut is 4 over. Tardiness might miss the cut because of it.
That's true. And like you said, he played really, really well, even after getting the 2-shot penalty. And it was interesting that he argued about it as much as he did, because one of your responsibilities as a player is that you don't miss your tee time. And he was on the putting green at 7:18 in the morning, still putting on the putting green, and he wasn't ready to go and to play, and he didn't get onto the tee until well after 7:19, so about a minute to a minute and a half later. Guess what? One of the things you do is you get there 5 minutes early, you get your pin sheet so you know where the flags are, you make sure you have enough tees, all those things. And his caddy was even yelling for him to get over to the first tee, but he didn't, and he got the 2 shots.
Bobby thinks Scheffler is going to make a run at this thing?
I do. I think Scheffler will. I think Justin Thomas will. I think Cameron Young will. I would also think, Gotterup's going to be right in the mix there. Maybe Spieth and maybe Justin Thomas. Those guys are all going to be in the mix, and it's going to be a fun weekend to watch golf in the PGA Championship.
Want to give us a little tease what's coming up on the show tomorrow?
Well, we're going to be talking a lot about the PGA. We're going to be talking about Garrett Higo, of course. Then we're going to have a couple of media people that are going to come on with us, and it should be a good show. It's going to be fun.
You're going to have the caddy. Ask the caddy if Higo should blame his caddy. Because if I was Higo, I would can my caddy right there on the spot.
Well, I will talk to the caddy about it.
Okay. All right.
And we will talk to him about it. And we've kind of been going back and forth since yesterday. And he says, buddy, you never miss your tee time, or you're never late for your tee time. In all the times that I played professional golf, I was never late once. Neither was my dad.
Thank you, Bob. Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, guys. Take care.
There you go. The one and only Bob Casper. Catch him tomorrow morning on Real Golf Radio alongside Brian Taylor. You going to be dialed into the PGA over the weekend?
As long as it's close, I'll definitely tune in, see what it looks like. So we don't
see
have
if
any.
Potgieter can hang on.
We don't have any NBA games tomorrow, I don't think, right?
No.
So everyone will play Sunday again if these series advance.
I kind of like that everybody was clowning the course going into this thing. I mean, people audibly saying that they're going to get 20 under or whatever it's going to be, and the course is just eating them up.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Totally.
Even though I usually don't like
that.
Like I do not like how the U.S. Open usually sets it up. I don't want to watch these guys get bogeys. I want to see them get birdies. But I do like the idea of being humbled going in overconfident.
You know, there's a scenario. Well, maybe this is just not booked out yet. There's a real scenario where the NBA runs into a problem with its scheduling. Speaking of the golf weekend, if both series get closed out tonight, it's going to be like Tuesday before they're back in action? Because I don't think they're playing Sunday. I'll have to look and see what the NBA schedule is.
All right, stay tuned. We will have more. Coming up next is Jake and Ben, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.